State Senator Roland Gutierrez, thank you for being here with me today. Let's talk the current redistricting discussion in the Texas Capitol. We have not spoken since Texas House Democrats denied a quorum. I want to start out by just getting your overall reaction to what Texas House Democrats have done over the last week.
Well, I'll tell you, Michael, I mean, we're certainly, we want to be very supportive of our Texas House colleagues and what they're doing. I think part of what you saw today in the Texas Senate by the majority of our Democrat senators was the notion that we weren't going to stick around for this farce. We have a lot of things that are going on in the state of Texas, a lot of needs that need to be met. In rural communities, certainly a lot of needs, like areas like Tyler, like Longview. We've got so much that needs to get done, but these Republicans that are leading this state would rather focus on an abysmal plan by this president to try to gain more political power while people across this nation and across this state are hurting so much financially, and health-wise and so much more.
Let me ask you, it's my understanding you're one of the senators who walked out during the vote on congressional redistricting in the upper chamber today. What led you to do that?
This whole session, Michael, has been a farce. We have real priorities, including the flooding. And this governor hasn't wanted to touch on those things because he doesn't care about those things. He cares more about appeasing Donald Trump's thirst for more power and thirst for staying in. I mean, let's be very clear. In the last midterm he was president in 2018, he lost 40 congressional seats because of how miserably he did. It is apparent to me that people, as this next election came in, they forgot how bad it was. This presidency, this particular second term, has been 100 times worse than the first. And we're seeing now how it's about to get worse for cities and communities across this country. Just yesterday, he sends in the National Guard to Washington, D.C., and threatened that he'll do it to other cities. What kind of fascist state are we living in? We have people that are hurting from these tariffs. Inflation's through the roof. The price of goods is going up. Everything that this charlatan promised communities like yours, none of which are happening. And people are in pain. And these Republicans that run this state refuse every day to help us in our pain.
What would you say to those who criticize, House Democrats for leaving the state? Some say they're fleeing, their responsibility as lawmakers.
Oh, listen, even the Texas Supreme Court has said that we can use a quorum break as part of the defenses that are given to us in the Constitution to stop bad legislation from happening. I didn't sign up to give Donald Trump, a woeful, the most corrupt president in this nation, more power. And so I'll do anything I need to do, that I can do, that the law allows me to do, to stop that from happening.
Do you view, the new maps that have been proposed as a form of gerrymandering?
Well, absolutely. But more importantly, we have every one of those Republican senators and Congress or House representative Republicans in the House. They all voted for these maps 4 years ago and said that the maps were race biased, that they were that they were good maps, that they complied with the Voting Rights Act, that race was not a factor. And now all of a sudden we're supposed to believe a Department of Justice letter because that's what the governor cited, that there's reverse discrimination. I mean, what are we talking about here other than a power grab? They want to go from 25 congressional seats, which is what they have right now, to Democrats' 13 seats. They want to go up to 30. They just want more power so that this guy doesn't get impeached again, so that he's not investigated for whatever he did with the Epstein guy or anybody else. What is happening right now in this country is disgusting. I was elected to solve people's problems, not to go out and protect some idiot president who's decided to do nothing more than to benefit himself and his family.
I do want
Screw
to
the
ask.
rest of us.
I do want to ask you, when you look at the walkout that happened today, and Texas Democrats breaking quorum, how confident are you it's going to stop, a vote on these proposed congressional maps?
I think that this particular special session is probably dead in the water, Michael. I'm hoping that that's the case. I think we'll see that by Friday. Um, does it stop the next one? Who knows? Is it part of a strategy? Is it, at some point will this thing end up in the courthouse? I'm sure it will. What will the with the United States Supreme Court do? I don't know. But, every day these sessions are all unique. They're all different in every way. And so we'll see what happens in this next one. We're going to do whatever it is that we can to safeguard our communities. And hopefully one day we can get these Republicans to actually talk about the kitchen table politics that are hurting Texans, the cost of insurance, cost of home insurance and auto insurance and health care and the cost of education and the fact that we're spending so much more for an educational system that, quite frankly, is woefully lacking compared to other states. And so we deserve more as Texans. We're the second richest state in this nation. And yet these guys have got us living like stepchildren. Our citizens across this country and in your community deserve better.
One last thing. When you look at, the Senate, what's the next step for you now that these maps have been voted on, now that they've been passed? What do the next steps look like then?
Well, they've been passed in the Senate. If the House Democrats don't come back, those maps are dead and we start all over again in a
But,
subsequent special session.
do you see yourself, continuing to try and, advocate against these maps or do anything? Like, do you see yourself denying a quorum in the future for other pieces of legislation, anything like that?
Well, listen, we're going to try. Every day is different, and I don't want to get it too far ahead of this strategy, but we'll figure out what's going to happen in the next special session that'll come soon, I'm sure.
Anything
It's
else you
my
would?
it's my hope that the Republicans that lead this state actually focus on the things that matter to most Texans.